The heart is even clearer. Sure enough, my wife truly cares about me. Pei-Deu and Qin Zhengyan chatted warmly for a moment. Suddenly he said, "Qin, some time ago, a strange alchemist has emerged from our Yunlin town, specializing in high-quality, low-level spirit dispersions. I wonder if you have heard." Qin Zheng raised his teacup, gently took a sip. In doubt. "High-quality spirit dispersal. Correct. It is said that 200 bags of King Feng San were refined. Extremely high quality. It can actually achieve the effects of a second-grade ice clarity list." Pei-Deu also picked up the teacup, smiled, and said, "This is the jade Luo Chun of the new temple. You can enter the mouth of Qin-Deu." Qin Zhengyan put down the teacup, breathed, "Good tea." Pei-Deu stared intently at Qin Zhengyan's face, asking the way. "Qin-Deu is also an alchemist, right? I have never heard of it before. Is this the master?" Qin Zhengyan pondered softly, shaking his head. "Use a gentle breeze to replace the icy clarity. Simply unheard of. Pei-Deu, you must have misheard, right?" Pei-Deu laughed heartily, personally served tea to Qin Zhengyan. Then Dao said, "Perhaps it was a senior master refining the art of alchemy, or perhaps a gifted new alchemist. Accidentally broke the rules." "The rules have been broken?" Qin Zhengyan curiously asked. "How to say this?" "Qin-Dao, drinking tea." Pei-Dao stretched out his hand. "This is merely an understatement. Before the Northern Wilderness trial, me and a Great Dane master struck a deal with Jinyang Zong. 200 grams of ice list. It was already agreed upon. Didn't want it, but it was replaced by those 200 bags of gentle breeze. A deal well struck." Interjecting unexpectedly, "Nature has broken the rules. Moreover," Pei-Dao Mayan smiled gently. The gaze was filled with coldness. "That great master. It is the 6th level of chess practice. Dan Master 3rd rank." Qin Zhengyan's expression remained unchanged. Regrettably stated. 200 grams of ice order. This is the 10,000 spirit stones. It's truly a pity." Pei-Dao let out a hearty laugh. "I wait for those who cultivate the way. Does not place much importance on gold and silver. It's just that grand master. In the end, they are just a character, being played with like this. There must be an explanation for nature." Qin Zhengyan thought to himself, "If you really aren't interested in earning spirit stones, I can't operate this alchemy workshop anymore." He nodded calmly. "I see. I just don't know about Pei-Deu. Why are you telling me this?" Pei-Deu took another sip of tea, put down the teacup. He chuckled. "Qin-Deu can achieve it in a short time, rising 2 levels in a row. Nature is not an ordinary character. Can you help me? Look for that master who has achieved the clear wind dispersing technique." Qin Zhengyan's gaze flickered, shook his head. "Pei-Deu really thinks highly of me. You and Master Dadden are both unable to find." "How can I find?" Pei-Deu smiled. "Qin-Deu, it has nothing to do with that senior Great Dan Master. I just want to get to know that master. If Deist Qin could help introduce one or two, I am deeply grateful." Qin Zhengyan understood. Emotions are like precious jade. They want to have the best of both worlds, like the great Master Dan and the skilled King Feng. We were not on the same level before. Not much communication. At this moment, a conversation with Pei-Deu took place. Qin Zhengyan became even more certain. This guy looks like a pioneer with a refined demeanor. It's just a product that relies on having milk. Who has something to gain? He just follows someone. In his view, the master who uses the gentle breeze to expel the pure ice essence. Perhaps it is not inferior to the resources of that third-rank alchemist. Even Peidayu believes Qin Zhenyan can be promoted 2 levels in a short time. Perhaps it has something to do with that master. That's why it was suggested. Let Qin Zhenyan help with the introduction. No wonder he has always been so polite to Qin Zhenyan. Besides colleagues, there are romantic entanglements within 4 layers. It was more to curry favor with the person behind Qin Zhenyan, Gao Ren. Qin Zhengyan's mind was filled with countless thoughts. Lifting the teacup with both hands. To Zhang Peidayu. Peidayu, you and I are fated to be together. I will do my best to help you find that expert. Within a year, there will surely be recovery. Peidayu's eyes suddenly sparkled with brightness. Look towards Qin Zhengyan. A smile graces the face. He also picked up the teacup. Then I will be more shadowy from now on. The two then left the alchemy room. Peidayu personally escorted Qin Zhenyan to Lin Danfang's doorstep. Gong Shudao. Qin Daoyu, you can rest assured. That villain. I will not go easy on you. Qin Zhenyan smiled. Peidayu is being courteous. How could I overstep your family matters? Farewell, farewell. Qin Zhenyan turned and left. Steady footsteps, yet still maintains an ethereal quality. Everyone in Lindenfang was captivated. Wan Ping's secret path. Is this the master of the 4-layer bromance? Zhu Lai looked on with envy. Wang Deu, you and I will part ways at a red mansion. How to cultivate well. Good. Qin Deu can enter the 4th layer of love and longing. We can do it, too. Just, it is said that the Rui courtesan will perform on stage tonight. How about we go one last time tonight? The beautiful courtesan is about to take the stage to perform. Okay, tonight is the last time. Peidayu watched Qin Zhenyan leave. The smile on my face fades away. Immediately order someone to bring Yang Fengshen over. Yang Fengshen's hair was disheveled, covered in blood on the face and body. The short and stout body crawled on the ground. Hold on to Peidayu's leg. Master, I really didn't steal the bronze gong. You have to believe me. Peidayu looked down at Yang Fengshen, said faintly, Fengshen, you secretly carved snacks into the key of the room behind my back. Zhang Bao's private stash, stealing and selling medicinal herbs from the house. These matters. I can turn a blind eye to some things. Just Peidayu sneer. You are provoking me to go. A conflict of decorum among 4 levels of affection. With this point, I cannot tolerate you. Yang Fengshen screamed in despair. Master, I don't know about that Qin Zhenyan either. It's already been 4 layers of love. I still need to gather the betrothal gifts to marry. Just let me off this time. Peidayu kicked him away. Leave 50 snacks. From now on, you are not allowed to enter the Lingdan workshop. Qin Zhenyan left the Lingdan workshop, walking along the familiar path for a while, finally arrived at Geifeng Street. In the past, I would scatter my work daily. He always takes this path. Returning to Zheyu Alley, on the way, we will pass through the most bustling Geifeng Street in Yulin town. Every time I see that bustling street, the towers gleaming with the light of the protective magical array, everyone is filled with envy at this moment. The splendor before me is no longer unattainable. He smiled, recalling the conversation with Peidayu. Respond within a year. Nature is a delaying tactic. 1 year, day and night training. If one can reach the 6th level of Kai training, there's no need to worry about that Grand Dan Master anymore. Of course, I want to get 2 levels higher within a year. Self-cultivation and mutual cultivation are both indispensable. At the same time, one must not neglect the realm of the Dan Master. It's best to first advance to a second-order alchemist, refining the second-grade spirit elixir, earn more spirit stones, ensure the spirit supply is worry-free. I already have a plan in mind. Qin Zhengyan no longer thought too much. Walking towards the night market, through Keifen Street, soon arrived at the night market. At this moment, it has just arrived sometimes. Most of the vendors haven't arrived yet. Seeing from afar, Mo Zailan dressed in plain-colored robes. Setting up the stall, Qin Zhengyan stepped forward, hand over the bag with the support installed on the ground. Mo Zailan turned around to take a look. A smile blossomed on her face, as vibrant as an orchid. "Qin Daoyu, how did you come here?" Guang Daoyu, who was also setting up a stall nearby. They also chuckled and said, "Qin Daoyu, you didn't come yesterday. Mo Dao, you almost lost a bead. The blood coagulation Dan and the anise spirit stone have been sold." Mo Zailan quickly said to Qin Zhengyan, "Guang Daoyu loves to joke the most. Don't take it to heart." Qin Zhengyan smiled, gentle and authentic. "Mo Daoyu, I have 50 more elixirs here. Could you help me sell it again?" Mo Zailan is serious. Naturally, Mingbai understood Qin Zhengyan's meaning. The elixirs refined by Qin Zhengyan are of very high quality. Sell it to him. He can earn quite a few spirit stones. But Mo Zailan did not answer. Qin Zhengyan handed over the spirit stone bag. "Qin Daoyu, thank you for your kindness. At this time, I can no longer sell for you." Why? Qin Zhengyan did not understand. Hurriedly asked. Mo Zailan smiled. "Qin Daoyu, the Northern Wilderness trials have now begun. The market for Lingdon is not as good as before. A blood coagulation pill at the night market can only sell 5 spirit stones. If you hand it over to me to sell again, you will suffer losses." He pulled Qin Zhengyan to one side, whispered, "I have already inquired. The market situation of Danfu Tower. No significant changes. A spiritual elixir of such high quality as yours. It can still be sold for 6 ling stones each. You should go to Danfu Tower." Mo Zailan said these things. In fact, Qin Zhengyan also had some understanding. The Northern Wilderness trials of the 3 major sects are now underway. Already started. The peak period for purchasing medicinal pills has passed. Prices will naturally drop, especially the night market. Prices are inherently volatile. However, Qin Zhengyan came to find Mo Zailan to sell elixirs. It was all to help her, but rather to earn more spirit stones. And even if we go to Danfu Tower, these 50 spiritual pills, it's just an extra 50 or 60 spirit stones. In comparison, naturally, helping Mo Zailan is more important first. At that moment, Qin Zhengyan smiled. "Mo Daoyu, I understand what you're saying. However, I still want to sell it to you." Mo Zailan looked up at his gentle smile. Why, Yi Zheng?" He lowered his eyes. "Qin Daoyu, I understand. I am also very grateful, but you have already helped me too much. That's enough. Mo Daoyu, Qin Daoyu, you should go to Danfu Building. Your wife is virtuous and capable. You need to earn more spirit stones. Train diligently. In the future, I won't be looked down upon." Qin Zhengyan said seriously, suddenly understood Mo Zailan's meaning. He took that second-grade talisman. It was clear that the origin of Qiaji River was not simple. Worried that Qin Zhengyan is being suppressed at home. That's why it is said this way. Qin Zhengyan still wanted to speak. Mo Zailan looked up, regained a radiant smile. "Qin Daoyu, With your heartfelt gesture, I am already content. You should go quickly. Get home early. Don't let your wife worry." Seeing him so resolute, Qin Zhengyan sighed helplessly. "Had to take my leave." As Qin Zhengyan walked far away, Mo Zailan withdrew her gaze, watching his retreating figure. "Continue silently," the deist priest next to him asked. "Mo Dao Liu, why don't you tell Qin Yu? I am about to leave Yuling town." Mo Zailan planned to, after selling out the stock in hand, silently leave Yuling town. There are quite a few objects among them. It was to ask Huang Zun for help in finding a buyer. It is the way of Huang Zun. He is about to leave soon. Qin Yu married such a virtuous wife. Qiu Yu has become a Dan master again. Finally, I have walked onto a broad path. How can I drag him back into the mire? Mo Zailan looked into the distance. Qin Zhengyan's figure had long since vanished. His voice remains clear and pleasant. "Just feeling a bit dazed. I am leaving. Then Zhukan couldn't find me. Naturally, they wouldn't trouble Dao friend Qin." Yuang Dayu sighed. "Mo Dao Liu, where are you planning to go?" Mo Zailan reached out to touch the orchid on Mo Ziu's left shoulder. The smile remains radiant. "It is said that Late Giant City has a holy scripture left by an ascended immortal. I want to go take a look." Qin Zhengyan returned to Kaifeng Street. Once again I arrived at the long-awaited Danfu Tower. Since learning about Peidayu and that grand alchemist, after chasing the clear wind away, he never came back to Danfu Tower again. Now, he has reached the 4th level of Kai refinement. Finally gained confidence. Can be bright. Zhang Daddy came here to sell elixirs. Entering Danfu building. Arrived at the counter where the shopkeeper was. Just in time to see the one with a small mustache, Tong Jinyan. Qin Zhengyan smiled and called out, "Tong Jiangwei." Tong Jinyan was focused on the account book. I looked up upon hearing a sound. A smile suddenly appeared on his face. "Qin Yu, long time no see." Qin Zhengyan clasped his hands and said, "I recently went to Linjin. Just returned yesterday." I casually gave an excuse. She pulled out a delicate brocade jade belt from her bosom. "Tong Jiangwei recently gathered a batch of top-grade spiritual elixirs. Are you interested in this? Supreme Spirit Pill." A guy next to me. I heard it was just a bottle of elixir. Can't help but shake my head. "Qin Yu, please follow me to the inner hall for a detailed discussion." But then Tong Jiangwei's eyes lit up. "Actually sold this elixir by the cultivator? Please enter the inner hall." That guy looked puzzled. "Just a grade 1 elixir. Is the shopkeeper serious?" "Qin Yu, what kind of elixir is this?" "It had." Tong Jiangwei smiled broadly. Dewey Qin Zhengyan asked about the Tao. "The last 200 bags." King Feng Sanyi, the price of each bag of 6 spirit stones. Sold to Chandon Pavilion. Net profit of 500 spirit stones. The profit margin has already surpassed most secondary grade elixirs. Then this turn could be quite significant. King Jingyan took out from the jade pouch. He took out a pill that shimmered with a blue light. The shopkeeper's eyes lit up. "Breathing recovery pill. It is still of the same quality as the ordinary recovery pills. Much higher. This quality of recovery pill, if used during a duel, the efficiency can increase by about 30%. In the blink of an eye, the moment when life and death hang by a thread, 30% more effectiveness. It's a matter of life and death." Next, Qin Zhengyan then took out the blood coagulation pill. Bu Maidan, Han Nudan, Tong Jiangwei, 20 blood coagulation pills, 10 heart protecting pills, 10 Chi recovery pills, 10 red fury pills, a total of 50 high-quality first-grade elixirs. Make an offer. Tong Zhanghui thought to himself, 6011 coins. Oh, King Zhenyan smiled and said, Tong Zhanghui, ordinary red rage Dan, one piece is worth 50 or 10. This kind of quality of mine. Just a little more. That's really not fair of you. Tong Zhanghui bursts into laughter. It was my oversight. So this red anger pill, just 11 coins. How are you? Dale. Qin Daiyu is straightforward. Half a stick of incense later, Qin Zhenyan walked out of Danfu Tower, in the spirit within my embrace, gained 320 spirit stones, adding to what Mo Xiaolan sold before, helped him earn 510. Qin Zhenyan's current wealth, a total of 830 spiritual stones. Behind, Tong Zhanghui smiled and said, Qin Daoyu, if there is still elixir, feel free to come find me. I will definitely give you a good price. Qin Zhenyan agreed, bowing in farewell, quickly walked out of Taylor Street. Soon they arrived at Jeyu Alley. Did not return to the rental immediately. In the first house at the alley's entrance. Find the landlord. Lin Dayu. I want to rent a spacious house. There are 2 rooms, with a separate shower room. The landlord of Jeyu Alley is named Lin. She is a middle-aged female cultivator. She is eloquent in both classical and modern language. Evaluating Qin Zhenyan, Bai Dao, Qin Daoyu, they say you've become successful recently. It seems the rumors are true. Qin Zhenyan smiled and said, recently, the delivery has been good. Married a virtuous wife. Earned some snacks. Your wife, I have seen it at the market. Indeed, it is a national beauty. I see the oil lotus. Qin Daiyu, you are indeed lucky. But let me tell you, your wife stands out too much. You need to be careful. It's best to keep watch every day. Don't let her wear overly nice clothes. Otherwise, you'll be on someone's mind even more. Look, on the left row is the pair of travelers in spot 3. Gave birth to 2 children. Not at all like that man. The middle-aged woman talks a lot. Holding on to Qin Zhenyan, they chatted for a long time, finally getting to the point. A bigger house has. I'll take you to have a look. Qin Zhenyan followed landlord Lin, arriving at the innermost part of Jeyu Alley. Lin Fangdong took out a pill. A tap on the crimson door. A bright light flashed. The big door opened. Clearly at the door, there are also simple protective arrays. But this way of opening the door, it is already much more upscale than the average rental apartment. Entered the door. In front of us was a not-so-spacious guest room. In the middle, there was a large wooden table. Our reception room and dining room can be created. Inside are 2 rooms. One is a bedroom. One room is a study. The study is quite spacious, just right for alchemy room. The other side is the kitchen. Beside him was Qin Zhenyan, who had promised Qiu a separate bathing area. I took a look inside. There is a bathtub inside. There are curtains hanging nearby. Qin Zhenyan's eyes lit up. Such a big bathtub. If the autumn friend is bathing in it. The white creek curves in and out of the misty clouds. What a beautiful scenery that would be. Qin Daoyu, are you satisfied with this house? Qin Zhenyan roughly looked over the house. Landlord Lin asked him. Qin Zhenyan looked around again. This house has an area of about 90 square meters, equivalent to a 2-bedroom, 2-living-room layout from a past life. Compared to the room I'm renting now, it's already too strong. He asked landlord Lin, Lin Dayu, how much is the rent for this house? Lin Fangdong readily handed it over. You can be considered an old tenant. I'll give you a fracture. 7,011 yuan. Press 3, -1. Qin Zhengyan chuckled, just pointing across the alley. The house with the same area. Lin Dayu, I heard someone say last time, the rent for the house across the street. It is 4,011 months. You have a fracture. Did it hit me? Qin Zhengyan has spent years mingling at the bottom level, dealing with these unscrupulous merchants more often. They didn't speak a single word of truth. However, what Qin Zhengyan said was, the rent for the house across the street is 4,010. Just talking nonsense. After all, it's all about deception and intrigue. What nonsense are you spouting? The house across the street. I just rented it out last month. Rent is 6,010. I swear I'll be struck by lightning if I'm lying to you. I gazed at him in a daze. The eyes darted. This is when Brother Ji smiled. Kindayu, we met for a reason. All right then. November can't get any cheaper. Estimated 5,010. This is the landlord Lin's bottom line. Qin Zhengyan no longer heckled. Tell landlord Lin. Lin Dayu, please wait a moment. I brought my wife to have a look. If she is satisfied, we have made a decision. Good. I wait for you again. Landlord Lin looked up and down at Qin Zhengyan, on the heavily made-up face, with envy. Qin Dayu, you and your wife have a really good relationship, unlike that deadbeat at my house. You don't discuss anything with me before deciding, as if I don't exist. Ignored the grieving landlord. Qin Zhengyan hurried home, pushed the door open and entered. Qiuzhi was sitting cross-legged on the bed. Qin Zhengyan excitedly said to him, Qiu down you. I just went to see a big house, deep inside Jiyu Township. Come with me to take a look. If you are satisfied, let's rent it. The river of autumn opens its eyes. Calmly glanced at Qin Zhengyan. You decided. After speaking, close your eyes. Continuing to cultivate. Qin Zhengyan sighed helplessly, walked to the edge of the bed and sat down. Introduce him one by one. This house has one bedroom, a study room. There is a reception room and a dining room outside. There is also a separate shower room. In the future, you can relax comfortably. I took a bath in the tub. Piudanyu, why don't you come with me to take a look? The river of autumn opens its eyes. A pair of apricot-colored eyes looked at him coldly. All right. Qin Zhengyan, close your mouth. Stepped out with my own hands and feet. Walk to the innermost large house in Jiyu village. Landlord Lin saw him return alone. Pray, Qin Dayu, where is your wife? Qin Zhengyan laughed heartily. My wife said, it's all up to me. Landlord Lin gave a thumbs up. At home my word is my bond. The jade is truly exquisite. Are you okay? Qin Zhengyan stroked his chin. To Lin Fangdong, deist Lin. I rented this house. Good. Next, we signed the rental agreement. Qin Zhengyan paid a 3-month deposit. Sorry, I can't assist with that. Cayenne paid a month's rent. The small house where he and Qiuzhi currently live. It's also 3 months' rent with 1-month deposit. 80 beads a month. There is still a deposit of 340,000 pearls remaining. The landlord Lin included it all in the deposit for the big house. Paid for the snacks. This 2-bedroom, 2-living-room apartment. From now on, it will be the new price for Qin Zhengyan and Qiuzhi, including the previous life. Qin Zhengyan is also staying in such a big house for the first time. He felt quite excited inside. Returned to that small cabin again. At this point, Qiuzhi has completed his training. Cutting meat in the kitchen. Today he bought that high-quality zero meat again. Kim Jong-un walked into the kitchen, excitedly said, "Kyu, I rented that big house. Let's move now. Autumn River turns back. Pang Dan Dai Dao. Wait for me to finish cooking. I'll... Okay. I don't know how." Seeing his calm demeanor, Kim Jong-un felt a sense of elation in his heart. Immediately it vanished into thin air. "Yes, I have only practiced to the 4th level of Kai. All my belongings are worth less than 1,000. Still living in the lowest level of Jeju Alley. What capital do you have to be complacent about?" Thinking of this, he immediately calmed down, walked to the outer room, sitting cross-legged in front of the Dan furnace. A bottle of herbs given to him by the river of autumn. There are still some left. Cannot waste. 2 hours later, Kim Jong-un used up an entire bottle of herbs. Successfully refined 8 bottles of linden. At this moment, the familiar rich aroma has already wafted out of the kitchen. He turned to look at the kitchen, the busy and charming silhouette. Smiled. I cleaned the furnace a bit. The training for today has begun again. Another hour has passed. Cultivation. 4th layer of Kai refinement. 2. 1,000. Skills. A session with the Dan Master. 113,200. Available cultivation points. 28. Cultivation has increased by 2 points. After adding points last time, there are still 27 training points left. Kim Jong-un pondered for a moment. Translate these 27 points. All were added to Master Dan. Skills. A session with the Dan Master, 14,120. There are still 59 points. You can then advance to the 2nd tier. Every night, double elimination. Repair 5 times. 15 points obtained. All added to the Dan Master realm. 4 days is all it takes. Waited until he became a 2nd tier Dan Master. You can refine high-quality, ice-clear Dan. Try to see if you can eliminate the sweet poison from within. Clear some more. Improve the efficiency of cultivation. At the same time, refine more high-quality urban linden. Take it to sell. Making money to buy snacks. Buy some simple protective talismans. Also need to buy clothes for Kyuje. Jewelry. Everything he likes. As long as it is within my ability. Buy everything for him. Just don't know. Kyujin's current level in zero-style mastery is how? Can high-quality secondary herbs be cultivated? At this moment, Kyuji walked out holding a pot of fragrant stewed meat soup. Said softly, "Eating?" "All right." Kim Jong-un replied. The two sit down to eat. Kyu. Today, this meat soup smells even better. Kim Jong-un took a bite. Continuous praise. Kyuji glanced at Tae. Finished eating, time to move. But that Kim Jong-un stewed a dish. Finally, I asked, I should be able to advance to a 2nd-tier alchemist today. Kyu, can you cultivate 2nd-grade herbs? It's okay. If it's not possible for now. I went to buy some herbs. As soon as the words fell, Kyuji didn't know where he came from. Pulled out a handful of flowers and grasses. A pile of red, green, and blue items is spread out on the table. Wool forest kyanai grass, san yi kingjai, wooling fruit, shui ling lion sai, bai luo king ten. Kim Jong-un's eyes nearly popped out, staring blankly at Kyuji. So many 2nd-tier miscellaneous items. The quality is still so high. Kyu, when did you grow it? Kyuji held the bowl in both hands, took a sip of the soup. Stick out your little tongue. Licked the scallion bit stuck at the corner of his mouth. let out a soft hum. It has been there for a long time. I've been waiting for you for a long time, but you still haven't reached the second level. I can hardly let go. You're really slow. This, hearing Kyujik's words, Qin Zhenyan was momentarily speechless. I didn't expect my own wife. Already entered the second-tier Lingai Master. I was still feeling smug before. Now I realize it when comparing with Kyuje. What the hell is called talent? Looking at the table filled with high-quality second-tier snacks, Qin Zhenyan felt a surge of emotion in his heart. It's obvious. Kyuje had long anticipated that he would need second-grade herbs, already prepared in advance. Qin Zhenyan stood up, solemnly bowed to Kyuje. Thank you, deist Kyu. Kyuje did not look at him, lowering my head to drink the soup, gently acknowledged with a hum. The two finished their meal, so we started packing up to move. Qin Zhenyan actually didn't have many belongings. Mainly that bronze furnace. Kyuje is simpler. Just take the red mandarin duck bedding from the bed and fold it with the sheets. Hold in my arms. Just getting ready to go out. Kyudeyu, where are your clothes and jewelry? Qin Zhenyan remembered. Kyuje often changes clothes. Counting it up, there are at least more than 10 sets. Plus what I bought for him. 2 sets of magic robes and 2 winter coats. I didn't see him put that on. Kyuji reached into his pocket, took out a fine silk jade belt, embroidered with a lotus flower on top. Glimmering with a faint light, Qin Zhenyan widened his eyes. Storage bag. Kyuje nodded. All my things are inside. Qin Zhenyan knew that Kyuje had a mysterious background, but I couldn't help but ask. Kyudeyu, the storage bag must hold at least 1,000 snacks. How do you have such a valuable item? Kyuje said softly. Dowry. Qin Zhenyan opened his mouth, pointing to the bronze furnace behind him. Isn't your dowry that Dan furnace? Kyuje glanced at him. Is it wrong for me to have a large dowry? Qin Zhenyan remained silent. It took a long time to arrive. Kyudeyu, you need to give us a bridal price to marry, yet brought so many dowries. I owe you an apology. In the future, I will definitely make it up to you. He spoke passionately, extremely touching. Kyuje remained unmoved, calmly said, No need. After finishing speaking, he stopped and went out the door. Qin Zhenyan quickly shouted, Put it into the storage bag, so I don't have to exert myself moving it. Kyuje completely ignored him, holding the red mandarin ducks, taken far away. Qin Zhenyan felt helpless, only able to lift the Dan furnace. Quickly catch up. He is now at the 4th layer of Chi refinement. Just a mere bronze furnace. It's not too difficult. Just holding something like this in the street. It's a bit inconvenient. Kyuje walked ahead holding a blanket. He is petite, round little face. Half of it is covered by the red mandarin ducks. Behind the back, more charming and cute. Qin Zhenyan was panting as he held the Dan furnace aloft. Follow behind. The couple is quite striking. The passers-by in the alley. Everyone looked over at them. There are many challenges to overcome. The stunning gaze directed at Kyuje. This is still covered by the quilt, concealing the surging mountains and rivers. Otherwise, these will be difficult to repair. I'm afraid my eyes are going to pop out. At this moment, the loving couple next door. Holding hands, we take a walk after dinner. I see Qin Zhenyan and Kyuje. Chen Fang exclaimed in surprise. Kyudeyu, Kindeyu, are you moving? Kyuje nodded at him. Qin Zhenyan held a pot in one hand. The pot is filled with bowls and chopsticks. Holding the Dan furnace in one hand, Bei Chen Fen. Da, Yes. Chen Dayu. Jiang Dayu. I just wanted to say something to you all. We are moving to the house at the end of the alley. Chen Fang's eyes sparkled. Covering her mouth, she let out a soft gasp. Are you going to move to that big house? Huh? Kang Chengdao bowed his head in silence. Qin Zhenyan smiled. Though we have moved, but still in Jeyu Alley. Not far apart. In the future, let's keep in touch more. He knows. Qiu Jihofen sought advice. Chen Fang's cooking skills and housework. Speaking of which, Chen Fang is considered Qiu Ji, the only friend in the alley where I live. He naturally does not wish. We lost contact because I moved. That's natural. Qiu Deu. Congratulations, Chen Fang said to Qiu Jie. A smile tinged with envy. Thank you. Qiu Jie nodded. Qin Zhengyun greeted the two, walking towards the new home. At this moment, the door to the next room opened. Meng Yu stepped out. Qin Zhengyun stepped forward immediately, blocking Qiu Jie's path. This person has always had malicious intentions towards Qiu Jie, even though I bowed and apologized last time. You must also be cautious. However, Meng Yu, no longer the unruly and domineering self of the past. He appeared vacant-eyed, walking forward, lost in thought. Qin Zhengyun finally breathed a sigh of relief. Turning back to Qiu Jie said, Let's go. Qiu Jie nodded slightly. I don't know how. Floated in my mind. The scene where he stood in front of me just now. An inexplicable flutter in my heart. Feeling a bit restless. A light hum. Overestimate oneself. The couple. Walking towards the innermost part of Jeyu Lane. Then Meng Yu walked out of the alley in a daze. Walking towards the direction of the Red Chamber in the morning. Muttering to oneself, Why hasn't my senior summoned me recently? Have you forgotten about me? Chen Fang and Zhang Chendao stood still, looking from a distance at Qin Zhenyan and Qiu Jie. Stepped into the largest rental house in the alley. Young lady, I'm sorry. I am so useless. Zhang Chendao suddenly spoke. The voice is bitter. Chen Fang smiled. Holding his hand, Husband, I truly envy Qiu Dao for living in such a nice house. But it's just envy. If you want me to exchange with him, I still choose to be with you. 5. Zhang Chendao's eyes were moist. Gazing deeply at his wife, Chen Fang cupped his face, smiled and said, Husband, haven't you noticed? Qin Dayu and Qiu Dayu, though married, but not intimate, take it towards us. Know each other well. The path aligns with the spirits. As carefree as a celestial being, Zhang Chendao was moved. 5. You are truly happy. Chen Fang stood on tiptoe, leaned close to Zhang Chendao's ear. Husband, tonight I lean against the table. The techniques learned with dedication. How are you? Okay. Let's go home now. Qiu Dayu, this is the medicine for opening the door. You and I each have one. There is a protective formation on the door. You need this herb to open the door. In the new home, pack up your things. Qin Zhenyan used the herbal medicine to open the door. Hand it over to Qiu Jie and instructed, This medicine must not be lost. Otherwise, if I'm not home when you go out, you won't be able to get in. Qiu Jie glanced over. The door with the magical circle drawn on it. A flicker of determination flashed in his eyes. Gently buzzed, then hugged the clothes, heading towards the bathing area. I am going to take a shower. Good. Qiu Dayu, I am waiting for you. Qin Zhenyan felt a fire burning in his heart. He said to Qiu Zhai. Qiu Jin's figure suddenly changed. Ignore him. Quickly walked into the bathroom. Closed the door quickly. A faint sound of rippling water can be heard inside, because Kyuji took off his clothes, stepped into the bathtub. Kim Jeng-yeon felt anxious yet hopeful. It seems to be back to the wedding night, after moving into the new house. Kyudaeyu's first bath. It's also our first time on such a spacious big bed. Kyuji washed up very quickly, in less than half an incense stick's time. He just walked out of the bathroom. Kim Jeng-yeon looked up. The eyes sparkled with excitement. Only saw Kyujai and her hair like sun-dried embroidery, loose down to the waist. The rosy little face after the bath, partially covered by Liu Hai's hair, even more dazzlingly beautiful, wearing Kim Jeng-yeon, the magic robe of the formation that was bought for him, the red pleated cloud-patterned dress draped over her. It's not wrapped too tightly, half hidden and half revealed the clothes inside, and those shoulders as fragrant as white jade. Kim Jeng-yeon slowly stood up, gazing intensely. Kyudaeyu, with, go take a shower. All right. Kim Jeng-yeon quickly stepped into the bathing room, quickly took a shower, come out to meet Kyuji, already wrapped in a blanket, lying on the bed, the white pleated cloud-patterned skirt, long since taken off and set aside, the cutie in the quilt, at this moment only wearing a slip. Kim Jeng-yeon got into bed. Kyuji emerged from under the blanket. Extend the white-sleeved arm. I want to extinguish the candle. But Kim Jeng-yeon grabbed her little hand. Kyudaeyu, don't blow out the candle. I want to thank you for understanding. Thank you, Sh Sin Wind. 500 points of reward for air love. Little Kaio who loves to read. 201 points for reward. Also, I received a 200-point tip. No sight of the starry sky. 100 points of reward. I still want to ask everyone regarding the arrangements for Mozayalan. Receive. Still not accepted. Hearing Kim Jeng-yeon's words, Kyujai had a round little face, more rosy. The younger brother slipped from his grasp. Withdraw your hand. Coldly he said, dream on. Kim Jeng-yeon said seriously, suddenly understood. Kyuji is a thought. He wanted to light the candle. Work with him. He quickly explained. Kyudaeyu, I didn't mean that. I want to talk about your past. A little more understanding. I want to talk to you more. Kyuji finally understood. His meaning. That delicate face. It has turned redder, turned over. In the cold, clear voice, carrying embarrassment. I don't want to talk. Kim Jeng-yeon shifted his body. Get closer to him. Softly said, Kyudaeyu, you can easily take out. A fine bronze cauldron can cultivate so much. High-quality spiritual herbs. There are even storage bags. And I am just a low-level wandering cultivator. Your conditions are like this. Yet she chose to marry me. I am grateful in my heart, but also anxious. That's why I want to know more about you. I want to know, what kind of person is my wife really? Kyuji fell silent for a moment, finally turned over, facing Kim Jeng-yeon. The two are very close to each other. Breath intermingling. Kyuji felt somewhat out of place. Fair-skinned arms, stretched out from under the blanket. Yin pushed Kim Jeng-yeon a bit farther away. She tucked her bangs behind her ears again. This is what I asked. What do you want to know? Kim Jeng-yeon thought about it. You said you come from the edge of the northern wilderness. A small sect. Can you tell me about your sect? Kyuji rested his cheek on the back of his hand. Eyes lowered. The 2 feet opened leisurely. My sect is located on a large mountain. There is a small lake on the mountain top. Every summer, many blue lotuses will grow in the lake. We always loved to go to the lake to pick. Every time I was caught by my master. But the master will not punish others, only punishes me alone. I was 10 years old then. Every time I lie in bed to rest for half the night, Kim Jong-un felt a pang of heartache. Your master is so heartless towards you. Qiu Zhai and his dual-gender plot were unfocused. It seems I have fallen into memories. I thought the same way at first. There is much resentment towards the master. Every time I make a mistake, I am punished. Sister always takes the best elixir from inside the door. Come heal my wounds. Once upon a time, senior sister told me, these elixirs. It was personally crafted for me by my master. Every time after punishing me, the master always isolates himself, quietly shedding tears. Senior sister said, mistakes among fellow disciples. The master always punishes only me. That is because Qiuzhai's slender fingers tightly gripped the bedsheet. The master wants to pass the position of the leader to me, so it has spurred me on a lot. I wish I could mature soon, assume great responsibility. Qin Zhenyan understood. Rashan Dao, deep love. Ji Zhai Tai, your master has high hopes for you, because he regarded you as his daughter. Qiu Zhai's round little face, a hint of softness emerged. The master is unreasonable. No children. Indeed, it has brought me and my senior sister together. She became his daughter. Senior sister entered the field earlier than I did. My cultivation is also higher than yours. But they take good care of me, just like my sister. The other disciples treat me well too. We admire the flowering crabapple on the mountain in spring, enjoying the blue lotus in summer. Autumn comes and descends the mountain to train. What about winter? Qin Zhenyan asked. Qiuji's hand was marked with prominent veins. There is a sound, some trembling. Winter, that winter year. Shaiji is dead. Qin Zhenyan was momentarily silent. I don't know what to say. Suddenly felt that the room was. It seems to have gotten a bit colder. Qiuji continued to speak. That winter. I'm about to break through. Senior sister went down the mountain to find me. The elixir needed for the breakthrough. Attacked by a rival sect on the road. Ambush and siege. That day it was snowing heavily. Later, the disciples who went to search for Shaiji's remains said, senior sister ultimately chose to embrace. Nothing was left behind. Just beneath the snow, discovered a bottle of elixir. That is the essence I need to break through. Senior sister during the imperial examination attire. He hid the spiritual liquid in the snow. Qiuji suddenly turned over. Shoulders trembled slightly. Qin Zhenyan extended his hand. I want to hug her shoulders. But the hand reached halfway. Qiuji's voice. It has started ringing again. Actually, senior sister doesn't know. I never wanted to be the leader of the sect. Senior sister is more suitable than me, but she always gives everything to me. I'm sorry, senior sister. Qiuji's voice came to an abrupt halt, because of Qin Zhenyan behind him. Suddenly hugged her. Qiuji's body stiffened. The temperature in the room kept dropping. Sudden increase. Restored the warmth. A moment later, holding his wife, Qin Zhenyan, softly comforting, for your master, your senior sister. You need to live well. Live well. Qiuji remained silent. A moment of warmth arises in my heart. Quickly returned to being cold again. The meaning of my survival. It's not really a good life. Through the three religions, blood debt, blood revenge by Qin Zhenyan, suddenly felt a burning body in my arms. No longer trembling. A powerful force surged in. She has been pushed away. The candle extinguished. A heaviness settled over me. She called out loudly, "Lady." The charming figure paused, continuing immediately, after 100 breaths. 5 minutes. Kyuji turned over. Stay away from Kin Genyan. This bed is much more spacious than the one used by the little witch. Kyuji wrapped in a blanket. The body felt like it had fallen into a hole. They had already left Kin Genyan far behind. Looking at her seemingly cold demeanor, in fact, it's an adorable action. Kin Genyan smiled. Illusory words appeared before me. The couple's relationship deepens. Couple's feelings. 31,100. Stages of a couple's relationship. Half-cooked. Partial understanding. Jaya Chen. 1. Gain cultivation points. 3. 5 minutes have passed. The couple's relationship improved by 5 points. Indeed, couples need to communicate openly, to truly enter each other's hearts. There is still more. Just now, while working, I called out wife. Kyuji doesn't say it out loud. One should be joyful in their heart. Call me again later. Give it a try. I just didn't expect it. My wife has been through so many tragedies. Master and senior sister, like family, all were killed by that demon gate. There are still so many fellow disciples. Also fell victim to the poison hands. Kin Jengyan looked at his reflection. Kyuji's body began to tremble slightly again. A wave of infinite affection surged in my heart. The lady's coldness. Maybe it's just a disguise. Her sorrow and pain, all hidden in the heart. As a husband, I treat her gently, soothe the wounds in her heart. Kyuji hugged the blanket, gritting teeth, enduring the backlash from the fire palace within the Xuanbing. A moment later, the chaotic energy within gradually began to calm. Xia Kinglian, why did you say so much to her? If someone with ulterior motives finds out, you are in danger of exposing your identity. These righteous cultivators, they are all hypocritical and malicious individuals. Don't be deceived by that fleeting warmth. Remember, she is just a tool for you to regain your powers. Senior sister, I will definitely take revenge for you. Shudai. Kyuji turned over, coldly staring at Kin Genyan. Spacious big bed. Begin to tremble slightly again. Kin Genyan softly called out, "Wife, shut up." Cultivation. Kai refinement stage 4. 1,000. Skills. First level alchemist. 14,120. Spiritual roots. Middle grade fire element spiritual root. 190. 1,000. Ice type mid grade spiritual root. 197. 1,000. Available training points. 15. After the 500 inhalations, the room returned to silence. Kin Jengyan saw the illusory words appear before him once again. 5 times of labor. Beng Huo Shuang Lingzhen. Each improved by 10 points. Distance to superior spiritual root. There is still a long distance to go. The couple's relationship has reached a new level. However, the practice points gained from a single labor. Still no change. Things like this can't be rushed. The river of autumn must still hold many secrets. I need to walk into his heart. Slowly excavate. I believe that day will come when he reveals everything to me. It is the time when the two of us become a truly loving couple, even if the result is still far away. But the two people gradually got to know each other, gradually entering each other's hearts. This process is just as wonderful. Kin Genyan silently recited in his heart, "Genyan, sorry, I can't assist with that." All 15 points were added to the Dan Master Realm skills. First tier alchemist, 156,200. I can become a second-tier alchemist in just 3 days. Qin Zhenyan, turn and look towards the river of autumn. The blanket on his body slipped down slightly, revealing shoulders as white as jade. Qin Zhenyan extended his hand. Help him pull the blanket up. Cover the shoulders. Gentle and authentic. Why, rest now. The river of autumn is still. Sleeping recklessly, Qin Zhenyan smiled. He closed his eyes as well. 3 days later, in the deep of night, all is quiet. After another round of emotional labor. Skills. First-tier alchemist, 200,120. Qin Zhenyan lay on the bed. The illusory text before me flashed with a glow. The text content changes. Skill. Second-rank alchemist, 1,500. Qin Zhenyan smiled. Finally promoted to a second-tier alchemist. He couldn't contain the joy in his heart. Gently get up. Looking back at Qiuzhe, who was sound asleep on the bed, she tiptoed out of the bedroom. Gently closed the door. Walk into the alchemy room next to the bedroom. Sitting cross-legged in front of the bronze furnace. Ignite the moment. Light the stove. Heat the furnace. Jiang Sani Kingde. Bai Luo King Ten. King Etua. King Gen and other medicinal herbs. They were placed sequentially into the Dan furnace. San Yi King Jai and Bai Luo King Ten. It is the spiritual herb needed to refine ice blue pill. The rest are ordinary medicinal herbs. Refining the second-rank spiritual pill, much more complicated than the Pindan. But when it comes to medicinal herbs, Binkingdan requires 2 types of spiritual herbs. 5 common medicinal herbs. The order of placement is quite particular. No mistakes can be made. However, for the elixir that can relieve erysipelas, Qin Zhenyan has always been attentive. I had already imagined it in my mind. Countless scenes of refining ice blue pills. Ordinary ice blue Dan. It won't help with the toxin in his body. But the 3-leafed green branch that Qiuzhai gave him, the quality of Bailyuechun tea is exceptionally high, far surpassing ordinary spiritual herbs. With this high-quality spiritual herb, the refined ice green pill, it should greatly alleviate the effects of erysipelas. These days, the intense alchemy training every day. Qin Zhenyan's memory was already superb. The refining process went smoothly. 2 hours later, successfully refined a Binking Dan. Just when he took the icy blue pill out of the furnace, examined closely, but found that the Danwan had some strands. Crack. Spiritual energy continuously overflowed from within. But a moment later, this ice blue elixir has lost all its spiritual energy. Become a useless pill. Qin Zhenyan frowned. How could it be like this? He closed his eyes, reviewing the alchemy process in my mind. Medicinal herbs. Puya, refine. Fusion, assisting spirits. Bear the burden. There's no problem at all. Shu Dai. Qin Zhenyan opened his eyes. It's me who is distracted while controlling the spirit fan. Caused during alchemy, the mental awareness actions are not precise enough. Second-rank alchemist. Usually, one would look for a spirit fan key, control of the specialized furnace fire, because when refining the second-grade spirit elixir, the demand for details, far surpassing first-grade elixirs, the master alchemist needs to focus entirely. Mastering divine consciousness, pay attention to the situation in the Dan furnace. If one can control the spirit fan with distraction, there will inevitably be some details overlooked. Just like now, Binking Dan Master has been successfully created, but because the details were not well managed. Chinden encountered a problem. The cracks appeared on the Dan at night. This elixir is useless now. Qin Zhenyan shook his head. I thought I was still truly a genius alchemist. A mere second rank. The spirit fan key is not needed. I didn't expect to overestimate myself again. Actually, the reward for a spirit fan key is not high. In January, it's usually around 5 to 7 degrees. With my current abilities, nature can afford it. It's just this spirit fan key. Need to stay permanently at home. At home, I still have my wife. This has caused a lot of inconvenience. Qin Zhengyun glanced at the bedroom on the other side of the wall. Kyuji has a cool temperament. Spare no effort in socializing with others. It's best not to look for the spirit fan key. Thinking of this, Qin Zhengyun decided to give it a try. Refining a type of energy-consuming spirit herb, at least a second-grade spiritual elixir. Rankin Dan. This name is not very proper. The effect is indeed rather improper. Placed in a previous life, it's actually an aphrodisiac. Of course, this is the effect of the Rankin Dan, more effective than ordinary aphrodisiacs. But it won't harm the body. After using the turned-up shoes, in addition to adding excitement, it is also beneficial for dual cultivation. It can serve as a second-grade spiritual pill. Speaking of which, this Rankin Dan is quite popular in the night market. Once I heard Mo Xiaolan say, "Once there was a female monk. I want to win back my husband, who favors his concubine. Came specifically to buy from her. The starting price is 40,011 grams. You need to know. This burning Qin Dan is low cost. Refining is simple. Besides that matter, it doesn't have any other purpose. It is the lowest grade second-tier spiritual pill. Can sell for 40 zeros. It's quite good as well. Qin Zhengyun chose to refine the burning Qin pill. I also want to give it a try. You don't need the spirit fan key. Can it be refined into this? The simplest second-grade elixir. 2 hours later, Dan Chen. Dan Lion. Qin Zhengyun looked at the item in his hand. Fragmented elixir. At a loss for words. Forget it. Mingri and Kyoji River will discuss it. If he has no objections. Let's go to the night market to find a Lingshan key. Qin Zhengyun returned to the bedroom. Gently got into bed. After much hard work, once again I have toiled in the alchemy chamber for 2 hours. I'm really a bit tired. Sue fell asleep. A moment later, the other side of the bed. The river of autumn opens its eyes. He took out a painter's communication note from his bosom. A line of text is offered above. Saintly woman, news has come from the northern wilderness. Uncle and nephew. A shadow flickered. The autumn river has ignited the bedroom. He is dressed in a plain, skirt-like garment. Slowly walked towards the gate. That petite and delicate figure slowly grew taller. Dark, embroidered hair turns fiery red. The plain fabric fell like a skirt. A red dress floated out from the storage bag, wrapping around that tall and curvy body. The next moment, Zaya Kinglian stood in the alley of the residence. The red shadow flickers, quickly disappeared without a trace. The hour of the tiger. Yihang Building. Second floor. Warren House. Holy Lord. Brown Sugar Senior Sister. Your enemy is dead. A person with an oval face. A charming and alluring woman. Chang Yilu Huai. Disheveled hair. Already at the table. Holding a wine jug. A moment of laughter. Suddenly broke into tears. A shadow flickered. Standing beside him, Liu Su and his younger brother kneel down. The voice is excited. Saint Maiden. Jinan sect. Thunder Sword sect. Jointly enter the relics left behind by the Lord on Tianliu Mountain. Triggered the Crimson Lotus town. Ganyang sect Sanyu, Zhu Zhenqian of the Thunder Sword sect, died in the town. Ganyang Plan Yizeu, Suo Honglin from the Thunder Sword sect, and a group of Jindan cultivators. Everyone was heavily impacted. Liu Su looked up. Tears flowed from my eyes. Saintess, when you were in seclusion to break through, Chanong Tang, the senior sister, goes out, searching for destiny on Spirit Night, but was surrounded and attacked by the three elders of the Thunder Sword sect, Hue Keju, Su Qingfan, Su Zhentian. The names of these three enemies we will never dare to forget. Zhu Zhenqian is now dead. The revenge of the brown sugar senior sister. Finally, a small part has been settled. Outside Yunlin town, Yunlin mountain peak, under the nightfall, by Zhu Ai. No trace in sight. A blood-red line. A figure stands at the steep peak, holding a jug of wine. Look up. Cold tea leaves, flowing down that fair neck, flowing into the red collar. A head of red long hair dances in the wind. Gradually became half lively, half snow-white. The woman in red removed the veil from your face, revealed its true form. This is a flawless goose egg face. It should have been dignified and elegant, yet it exudes a menacing aura. The killing intent in those eyes. Like a 1,000-year iceberg, it was as if the heavens were furious with flames. If one were to don that fearsome attire, black shark cloud pattern robe, countless righteous cultivators, the city gasped in shock. Demon Gate Saintess, Xia Kinglian, if Qin Zhenyan were standing here, you will also find the woman's brows and eyes before me. Jianjing is suited to be the wife of Qiu Ji. Somewhat similar, just the holy maiden of the demon gate that instills fear in countless people. At this moment, tears streamed down my face. King Lion, don't blame the master. In fact, she has always regarded you as her daughter. But senior sister, why does the master always punish just me? King Lion, do you know why master named you Kinglian? Because he wants you to become the holy master of the Kinglian sect. I don't want to be the holy lord. I don't want to cultivate in the Xuanbing Lihuo Palace anymore. Senior sister, I feel both hot and cold inside. I feel so uncomfortable. Kinglian, this is the elixir that can alleviate the conflict between Xuanbing and Lihuo. Drink up. Thank you, senior sister. Senior sister, this is blood. Whose blood is it? Kinglian, those who cultivate in the Xuanbing Lihuo Palace. Internal conflict of ice and fire. Only the blood of those who practice Tang Lion Jiu can truly eradicate. Kinglian, as long as you drink my blood every day. Xuanbing Lihuo Palace, it will be refined soon. Now, senior sister, I can't drink your blood. I don't want to be the Holy Lord. Chanal Hall, I was born for Xia Kinglian. Junior sister, senior sister will always be with you. Qin Lion, you can rest assured and focus on your retreat. I will go seek the spirit of the night for you. Wait for me to come back. Kinglian, what if the senior sister is no longer here? You must be filial to your master, protecting junior disciples. Xia Kinglian opened her eyes. Senior sister, Zhu Zhenqian of the Thunder Sword sect is dead. The ones who ambushed you that day. There are also Huang Keju and Su Qingfang. These two people I will kill with my own hands. Now, and the leader of the Lei Giant sect, all disciples of the Thunder Sword sect. There is also the Jinang sect, the righteous cultivators of Feiyan sect. I will kill them all cleanly, even if I suffer the calamity of the 9 heavens, thunder. I will also take revenge for you. Antag, born for the blue lotus. Kin lion, dying for the red hall. One day, Keu down you. Are you feeling unwell? Kin Jengyeon woke up in the morning. The autumn river has not yet risen. Then I went out to the market. I bought some ingredients back. Just didn't see it today. Selling high-quality meat. It is already morning when I return. The river of autumn is still asleep. At this time on a weekday. He got up a long time ago. Kin Jengyeon felt a bit worried. Sit by the bed. Whispers gently to the river of autumn. The river of autumn turned around. The color of her eyes turned blue. At first glance, you don't look sick at all. Kin Jengyeon scratched his cheek. I'm sorry. I woke you up. You can sleep a bit longer. I went to buy breakfast. After finishing speaking, he went out. I bought breakfast and came back. At this moment, the river of autumn has already donned its attire. Wash finished rinsing the illness. The two sat down, eating quietly. I don't know how. Kin Jengyeon always felt that when he woke up from a deep sleep, the river of autumn has changed a bit. It seems like we've returned to the time right after we got married. That cold, icy appearance. After the two practiced last night, he just fell asleep. What exactly happened? In the hands of the river of autumn, holding a small steamed bun. The little cherry lips nibbled away, expressionless, like a cold, ruthless eating machine. Kin Jengyeon took a sip of soy milk, said with a smile, Jae, I have something I want to discuss with you. The autumn river quietly looked up. What did you call me? Call your name. Kin Jengyeon observed his expression. He whispered, If you don't like it, then I will call you my wife. The gaze of Kyuje was as cold as a knife. Kin Jengyeon quickly said, Then I'll call you Ji-hee, if you are unwilling. I also go by that name. Why don't you just hit me? Want to bridge the gap between us. First, we need to start by changing how we address each other. All day long, my friend. The call of a fellow cultivator. People have become distant from each other. But you should directly call me wife. It seems like the relationship between the two. It's not to that extent yet. That would be best. Let's start with calling names. This is Kin Jengyeon. The first step to melting the iceberg princess. Seeing her acting all stubborn. The cold fur of autumn's river hangs down. Continue to lower your head and eat. You don't speak. I'll take that as you agreeing. Jae, I want to discuss something with you. Kin Jengyeon's scheme succeeded. A smile appeared on his face. I became a second-tier Dan master last night. But refining the second-grade elixir always ends in failure. I speculate. Because it is distractedly controlling the spiritual fan. The success rate of alchemy is too low. After speaking, he took out the ice clarity pill and the passion pill refined last night. These two elixirs, already fragmented, not looking right. Autumn River glanced over. The voice is light and cheerful. How many have you refined? Kin Jengyeon's mouth was tightly shut. Just these two. Kyuje coldly stared at him. This is called a low success rate. It should be called never succeeded. Kin Jengyeon helplessly corrected. Continue the path. So, I want to find a spirit fan key, to avoid my alchemy being too mentally exhausted. Taking on responsibilities always leads to problems. It's just this spiritual fan key. May need to stay at home for a long time, but you can rest assured. I will find a female key. I won't make it inconvenient for you. Kin Jengyeon hadn't finished speaking yet. The river of autumn has already agreed. Then he got up and walked to the side. Close your eyes and meditate. Started training. Recently, Kyuji has been practicing even more diligently. It is not surprising that Kinjengyan clear away the dishes, brought it into the kitchen to wash, getting ready to head out. Reminder before leaving. Kai, I have already gone to buy groceries. Just put it in the kitchen. Don't go grocery shopping anymore. Uh, the River of Autumn responds with closed eyes. Kinjengyan finally opened the door and went out. Before leaving the door, gave 100 spirit stones to Kyujai, supporting the household. First, I went to Xianbao Pavilion to buy 50 pieces of spiritual essence. Spent 500 spirit stones. Plus, they gave Kyujai 100 spirit stones. There are still 200 spiritual stones left in the spirit essence. Going to Danfu Tower again. Sell the remaining 10 first-grade spirit pills. Net worth has risen to 300 spirit stones. At this moment, some time has passed. The night market is also about to start. Kinjengyan walked towards the night market. In the night market, there is a town called Liuenfa. You can add it on top. Information about self-recruiting Ling Shan keys. I have already talked to Kyujai in advance. I will be home a bit late today. I'm not afraid of him worrying. It's just this Ling Shan key. Can only find female cultivators. But it is a bit difficult. Usually, low-ranking female cultivators choose to marry. The high-level female cultivator looks down on making keys for others. I want to find a girl who has a spiritual key. It is still quite challenging. We must raise the compensation. This is a bit heartbreaking. Kinjengyan was just thinking. But I forgot to avoid Yihang Tower. He passed by Yihanglu repeatedly. The nanny recognized him at a glance. Quickly stepped forward to stop Kinjengyan. You heartless scoundrel. You must be suffering a lot. This is the time when many cultivators are taking a break from their duties. There are many people coming and going. Zhang Beimu's loud voice immediately attracted the attention of the uninvolved. Isn't this Zhang Beimu from Yihanglu? Someone actually started a chaos with him and ended up with it. Tess. This friend truly has a unique taste. Just let the durian be. Even the nanny isn't spared. It is a windy day. It is a windy day. Whispers filled the air. Kinjengyan quickly took a step back. This fellow cultivator. I do not know you at all. What brings this upon you? I was careless for a moment. I actually forgot to take the detour. But what the nanny said is quite baffling. I passed by Yihang building once. Haven't done anything yet. How did he become a heartless man? Zhang Beimu looked furious. Poor Ruyi, who is deeply devoted to you. You finished everything. But they left without a word. Do you really want to abandon Ruyi? As soon as Zhang Beimu said this, the surrounding cultivators watching the commotion were all shocked. He is talking about the Ruyi fairy. It was said that the courtesan Ruyi had fallen in love with the patron who bought her first night. So it was her after all. This fellow cultivator, it is the powerful one who conquered the Ruyi fairy with protective arts. Unremarkable in appearance. Do not want to miss out on the great skill of defense. What on earth is a master of defensive arts? Kinjengyan felt even more confused. Helplessly said to Zhang Beimu, that day Ruyi and I did nothing. Then, you must be misunderstanding. As soon as the words were spoken, a graceful and curvaceous figure, running out of Yihanlu, excitedly said to Kinjeng, husband, you finally came to pick me up. On that beautiful and charming oval face, deeply affectionate, beautiful eyes glistened, clearly deeply infatuated with the man before her. It is the renowned courtesan Ruyi. Well, the onlookers all widened their eyes. Zhang Dazui Ba. Oh my gosh. The fairy of good fortune has personally come out. Has the fairy of good fortune really been conquered by this person? Qin Zhengyan also opened his mouth wide, with a puzzled expression. Ruyi downed you. You and I are innocent. You can't just talk nonsense. But the beautiful courtesan had a face full of sorrow. Husband, that night you made me feel the joy of being a woman. You promised me you would come to marry me soon. I will remain chaste for you. Have you forgotten everything? Uh, Liu Su performed gagging while clutching my chest. Damn it. I made myself sick and threw up again. She was on the second floor just now. Seeing Zhang Beimu blocking Qin Zhengyan, I immediately began to calculate in my mind. She wants to stay at Yehan House, gathering information for the Saintess. But these past few days, the nanny kept forcing her to take clients, because there are just too many lecherous old men wanting to hit on her. One night, the price had reached 30. The only way now. It is about keeping this temperament. Let her be his only benefactor. Last time, this person didn't even touch it. Just ran away. At first glance, it's obvious they are a fool. Just right to use her as a cover. You can stay at Yihanlu to gather information. I don't have to sell my body again. Determined, Liu Su then applied a watery makeup to her face to create tears. Dang Dang ran down the stairs. Started my performance. I don't want to go and make myself sick. The wish fairy is experiencing morning sickness. Is she already pregnant? This fellow cultivator, Rui Fairy, has already given birth to your child. How could you be so heartless? Some surroundings. The person saw the Rui Fairy actually gagging. Believed she was pregnant with Qin Zhengyan's child. Fanfani Fantanyi. You're the one who's nauseous. Your whole family is experiencing morning sickness. Liu Su cursed in her heart. Her face grew increasingly sorrowful, softly and weakly, pulling on Qin Zhengyan's sleeve. Husband, Rui knows her lowly status. I don't aspire to have a wife or a concubine. If I could be a slave or servant, just be content and satisfied. I only ask that my husband does not disdain me. Qin Zhengyan's face darkened. Shake off Liu Su's hand. Rui, dearest friend, only the wife. You are not allowed either, my lady. Please have some self-respect. After speaking, she activated her spiritual energy, bursting out from the crowd, fading into the distance. What the hell? Ran away. He really is a scumbag. What should the Rui Fairy do about the baby in her womb? Rui Fairy, your child is unraised. In the midst of the surrounding noise, Liu Su was dumbfounded. That bastard actually ran away. Damn it. Am I really that ugly? Zhang Beimu saw Qin Zhengyan escape. No rush. A wave of the hand. The robust female cultivator from the commoners. Surround Liu Su. Rui, the one you love no longer wants you. This time, you should be willing to take on customers now, right? Liu Su wanted to cry but had no tears. Saint Maiden, I can't hold on anymore. Come save me quickly. Qin Zhengyan fled all the way out of Kaifeng Street. Looking back, the courtesan did not chase after. This is a relief. In the future, go to Kaifeng Street. You must avoid the Red Mansion. Soon we arrived at the night market. At this time, the sky gradually darkened. The vendors have already set up their stalls. Start selling. Divine movement talisman. Transmitting sound symbol. Gyueki Dan. Heart protecting pill. Various support elixirs. Clearance sale. Passing by. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. I could see from afar. The tall Mosai Alan. The sound rang out crisply as they called out their wares. Qin Zhengyan smiled. stepped forward to greet. Mo Dao Liu. Mo Xiaolan saw him. The gaze is a bit evasive. Forced a smile. Qin Daiyu. How did you get here? King Jiangyan said, I want to find a Lingfen key. Thinking about the crowded night market. I want to be in Liu Wen's formation. Add my recruitment message. In the center of the night market, there is a massive stone tablet. The monument is inscribed with Liu Wen's formation. The purpose of Liu Wen's formation, similar to the justice platform of Qin Zhengyan's past life. Find the town's mage in charge. Pay a certain amount for snacks. You can leave information on it. You can advertise. Recruitment. Searching for someone. Searching for items, etc. You need to find the spirit fan key. Mo Xiaolan's beautiful eyes sparkled. A genuine radiant smile appeared on his face. Qin Daiyu. Congratulations! Becoming a second-rank Dan Master so quickly. As we all know, only a second-tier alchemist or above. You only need the spirit fan key. It has been heard that Qin Zhengyan is looking for the Lingfen key. Mo Xiaolan immediately understood. He has already become a second-tier alchemist. Qin Zhengyan smiled and said, Thank you. Mo Dao Liu, I remember the realm of your attire. It should be reaching the second level soon. Qin Zhengyan knew. Mo Xiaolan practices every day. Drawing talismans. Practicing diligently pays off. Achieve second-tier attire. It's only a matter of time. Almost there. Mo Xiaolan brushed her dark hair behind her ear, gently smiled and said, That's right. I'll take you to Liuwenfa town. Qin Zhengyan quickly said, I'll go by myself. It is now the best time for business at the night market. You keep an eye on the stall. No problem. Mo Xiaolan said, Today, Deist Liu in Liuwenfa town has a bit of a strange temper. I am somewhat familiar with him. I'll accompany you. Things will be easier to handle. Qin Zhengyan wanted to say something else. Mo Xiaolan urged with a smile. Why is Qin so nagging? Hurry up. Seeing his determination, Qin Zhengyan also found it hard to refuse again. The two of them arrived at the central market of Fort Town. Picking up coins, Mo Xiaolan goes to meet the town sorcerer on duty today. Said a few words. Qin Zhengyan paid 80 spirit pearls. Post your recruitment information. Entered the town of the law. Recruit a spiritual advisor. For women only. Must be available on call. Sometimes must live in the employer's home. January 6 o'clock. Someone can come home to discuss in detail. He also left his address. The cultivator who came to the night market looking for work. You can then in Liuwenfa town. Seeing this information, people with intentions. Zihui will come to Zheyu Alley to find Qin Zhengyan. It's time for the interview. Appearance, aids, cultivation doesn't matter at all. Just obey, as long as it's reliable. Qin Zhengyan and Mo Xiaolan returned to the stall. Suddenly realized, on Mo Xiaolan's stall, the goods are scarce. I couldn't help but ask in surprise. Mo Dao Liu, haven't you received any goods these days? Mo Xiaolan smiled. Recently busy with cultivation. I have forgotten to restock. She has finished processing all the inventory these past few days. It's time to leave Yunlin town. Naturally, there will be no more restocking. It's just these things. She won't tell Qin Zhengyan. It's best to leave quietly. Qin Zhengyan glanced at Mo Xiaolan. Mo Dao Liu, is something bothering you? It's nothing. Mo Xiaolan immediately smiled. You should go home soon. Don't keep your wife waiting anxiously. Qin Zhengyan looked at her carefully again. I didn't see anything. This is the way. Mo Dao Liu, if there are any difficulties, you must tell me. Mo Xiaolan clasped her hands behind her back, eyes like blooming flowers. What difficulties could I have? Don't worry. Qin Zhenyan saw her expression was normal, so I didn't ask any further. Smiled and said, by the way, we moved to Zhang Wei's house. Come over and sit for a while. Is that the big house of Zhang Wei? Great. Mo Xiaolan smiled. I sincerely feel happy for Qin Zhenyan. Qin Daoliu, you really are getting better and better. Never let your guard down. The Qin family needs to cultivate. Move in soon. Qin Zhenyan laughed and said, Mo Daoliu, you too. Don't forget our promise. We'll never forget. Qin Daoliu, hurry back. Mo Xiaolan urged again. Qin Zhenyan indeed missed his wife back home, left with a smile. As she walked further away, Mo Xiaolan was staring intently at her back. Maybe this is the last time I will meet her. Qin Zhenyan returned to Zheyu Alley, using the array at the main gate to be loyal to Ahua. A crisp sound echoed. The lock is released. Qin Zhenyan pushed the door open and entered. Jai-hee, I'm back. It feels like a husband coming home after work. The first thing, just shout out your wife's name. At this moment, if the wife could greet him with a bright smile, send another sweet kiss. That would be perfect. Qin Zhenyan waited for a moment, still couldn't wait for the river of autumn to deliver a kiss. Walked into the room. Only meat porridge was placed on the table, but did not see the figure of Qiu Zhai-he. It was obviously just served not long ago. The river of autumn does not know when he will return. It seems this porridge has been heated several times already. Otherwise, it wouldn't still be warm at this time. Qin Zhenyan felt a warmth in his heart. Suddenly, I heard the sound of water. Walked to the bathroom door. Through the obstructing curtain. Sure enough, a vague petite figure appeared, sitting in the bathtub. A slender arm is raising a ladle. Slowly tilt. A curtain of water cascaded down, falling on that exquisite, curved surface. Splashes of countless water droplets. Qin Zhenyan momentarily hesitated. This curtain closed softly in the candlelight. Suddenly became faintly transparent. Was it the landlord's intention? Quickly opened my eyes, although the two have worked several times. But they all extinguished the candles. Mechanical movements. There is no intimacy to speak of. Kyujik clearly did not want Qin Zhenyan either. Seeing one's own body, at this moment without his permission, peeping like this, it is indeed inappropriate. Qin Zhenyan walked to the outer room, sit down and quietly drink the porridge. In the bathroom, Kyujik sat in the bathtub. Mist and shadowy clouds, intermittent paths through the mountains, above the water surface, dotted with droplets, like pearls flowing on a quiet white jade surface. He looked towards the bathroom. The frost in her eyes seemed to melt slightly. This person is fairly honest. At this moment, after the 500 inhalations, the river of autumn typically turns its back. Move it a bit. Lai Qin Zhenyan moved a bit farther away. Jai, I am already in Liu Wen's magical array at the night market. Left information about the spirit summoning Fan Qi. Someone might come to visit in the next few days. If you don't like it, I won't let them in. No problem. The river of autumn has no interest in the spirit Fan Qi, as long as it's not a bother. He practiced and engaged in dual cultivation at night. Jian Qiu no longer speaks. Qin Zhenyan then mentioned tonight at 3 o'clock. All of it has been added to my cultivation. Cultivation. Kai refinement level 4. 16. 1000. Skills. Second rank Dan Master. 1,500. Spirit root, fire element intermediate spiritual root, 200. 1,000. Ice type medium grade spiritual root, 207. 1,000. That week, Kun returned to Yunlin town. It will take at least half a year. Delay means a year. It would be best to do it within 6 months. Elevated to the 5th level of Kai refinement, Fang Neng lets Mo Ziolan, no longer subjected to his coercion. If it's like before, daily absorption of spiritual essence for cultivation, enhance 12 points. 5 dual cultivations at night. Raise 15 points. Increased by 27 points in 1 day. It only takes 37 days to reach. However, 6 spirit essences are needed daily. That is 60 spirit stones. 37 days equal 2,200 spirit stones. Now on Qin Zhengyun's body, there are still 300 spirit stones left. In other words, apart from daily expenses, Qin Zhengyun wants to do it in a little over a month. Earn at least 1,900 spirit stones. It depends on the utility. Ordinary second-rank elixir, a 30/60 spirit stone. Cultivating high-quality spiritual herbs with the autumn river. Refined second-grade spirit pill, one should be able to sell for 40 to 70 spirit stones. To satisfy the consumption of spiritual essence, Qin Zhengyun needs at least every day refined 2 spirit pills. It is now about 2 hours. Can refine a pearl, that is, daily 4 hours are needed for alchemy. Train for another 6 hours. 1 hour of dual cultivation. An hour of sleep restores energy. This time is truly filled to the brim. When you think about it like this, instead, one should be grateful for the unique constitution of Kyeji River. The ice and fire duality, let him not have so much time. Otherwise, in an hour, it may not be 5 times after all. Thinking and thinking, Qin Zhengyun fell into a deep sleep. Bandam. Knock, knock, knock. One day, Qin Zhengyun was awakened by a knock on the door. I got up and looked. The autumn river is no longer in bed. She must have gone out to buy groceries. Did he forget to take his medication? Qin Zhengyun quickly put on his clothes. Get up and go open the door. Senior Da Yijin, I have personally received your kindness. The senior indeed has a majestic presence, truly worthy of being a second-stage alchemist. Can you let me go in first, senior? Senior, I arrived the earliest. Let me go in first. At the entrance stood 7 or 8 female disciples, each adorned with vibrant attire. Kainjayo Bai Mei. Qin Zhengyun was startled. Only now did I realize. You are all here to apply for the position of spiritual medicine master. Senior truly has keen insight. Master, Kai Shen waited all night. You go in first. The master chose me. You will never regret it. The female cultivators started to mock loudly, competing to escape from oneself. Don't rush. Don't rush. One by one they came. Qin Zhengyun quickly maintained order. Don't let them bump around. He discovered himself, still underestimated the second-tier Dan Master, the allure of lower-tier female cultivators. These female cultivators are beneath. There are no means of making a living again. Second-rank Dan Master, don't talk about flying up to the branches to become a phoenix. How to greatly improve your current situation. For them, a second-rank alchemist, it's just a thick thigh. Naturally, I tried every way to hold on tightly, but Qin Zhengyun was having a headache. I just want to recruit a reliable and obedient healer. You all wear such heavy makeup, open-hearted and unguarded. What do you really want to do? What are you doing? Should I? A cold, clear voice rang out. Kyuji is carrying a vegetable basket. Cold gaze, glancing at several beautiful female cultivators standing at her doorstep. Finally, fell on Qin Zhengyan's face. Jai, they came to seek the Lingshan medicine master. Swept by Kyuji's gaze, Qin Zhengyan felt a tightness in his scalp. Quickly explained. Lingshan Yaoshi. Kyuji was carrying a vegetable basket, walking through the 7 or 8 elegantly dressed female cultivators. The female cultivators unconsciously took a step back, give her a way through, at the same time secretly sizing up this woman who was clearly a head shorter than them. The gaze was one of disdain, slowly becoming stunning. They discovered, although this woman is petite, youthful appearance, but her figure was extremely prominent. Yet it remains so light and carefree. A youthful face and a fairy-like aura combined in one. Such a woman, undoubtedly, that is what can most arouse a man's desire. In comparison, they dressed up meticulously, but it's several notches lower. It seems I can only be a concubine. Several female cultivators silently rolled their eyes in their hearts. The smile on her face grew increasingly charming. Senior, I have served as a spiritual healer for several years. Choose me, you won't regret it. Master, I can not only control the spirit of goodness. You can still control it. The group of female cultivators started chattering again. Kyujai, he let out a cold snort. The female fairies immediately fell silent. Jai, Qin Zhengyan was just about to speak. The River of Autumn has already spoken to her. Aren't you going to practice? Qin Zhengyan is righteous. But then I heard the River of Autumn continue. You focus on refining elixirs. These people, I'll help you take a look. Will Piaji River help herself interview these candidates? Qin Zhengyan said. Jai, you are unaware of the requirements of Lingshan Yaoshi. It's still me. Kyuji coldly looked at her. Qin Zhengyan immediately said, Then I will go train. After speaking, she turned and entered the door. Jingdai entered the alchemy room. Now there is no Lingshan medicine master. Currently unable to refine the second-grade spirit pill. I can only cultivate on my own for now. Before closing the door, Qin Zhengyan glanced outside. I saw Kyujai standing at the door. He is speaking to a female monk. The others stood quietly to the side. It seems the interview has already started. Qin Zhengyan closed the door, no longer distracted. Sit cross-legged. Take out a few pieces of spiritual essence. Begin cultivation. 2 hours later, it is nearly 5 o'clock. Qin Zhengyan opened his eyes. Cultivation. Refining tools level 4, 20,100. Used up 2 pieces of spirit essence. The cultivation level has increased by 4 points. Qin Zhengyan listened intently to the sounds outside. It seems there is no movement anymore. River of hardship. I have already chosen the spiritual goodness medicine master for me. Qin Zhengyan walked out of the alchemy room. I saw the reception room outside. Empty and desolate. Only the sound of don don don. Sounds came from the kitchen. Qin Zhengyan walked into the kitchen. Autumn River was standing in front of the cutting board, holding a kitchen knife, chopping meat with a clang. He cut with great force. The chopping board drives the kitchen. All are slightly trembling. Qin Zhengyan stepped forward with a smile. Jai, I'm cooking. Kyuji glanced back at him. Didn't say anything. Turned around and continued cutting the meat. Qin Zhengyan scratched his cheek. Come a little closer. He smiled slyly. Jai, today I bought high-quality spirit meat again. So good. Kyuji completely ignored him now. The kitchen knife swings. Impressive momentum. A large piece of meat with bones. It was cut into pieces. Kinjenyan instinctively swallowed. Whispered, "Kai, have you chosen the Ling Shan medicine?" Kyujai, he wore a cold expression. Chopped the meat. It jumped into the boiling water. Said coldly, "They have all been driven away." Driven away. Kinjenyan quickly asked, "Why?" Kyujai, he glanced at him. "They have never practiced the art of spirit medicine. What is the use of staying? Kinjenyan is right. Wasn't there someone wearing a pink dress just now? Did he do it?" The River of Autumn squinted. "What color others are wearing? You remember it so clearly. Kinjenyan is currently residing." Hastily said, "I don't misunderstand. I am worried if I have to stay at home permanently. If a male cultivator causes you inconvenience, that's why it's clearly stated. As long as a female cultivator, I didn't expect it to turn out this way either." The River of Autumn ignores him. Self-absorbed. "Put it in the pot and bring it to a boil." Kinjenyan said again, "Jai, you can rest assured. No one should come today." As soon as the voice fell, there was another loud knock at the door. Kinjenyan looked at the cold expression of Kyuje. "Go outside and open the door." Outside the door were several exquisitely made-up female cultivators. I saw Kinjenyan. A charming smile appeared on her face. "This senior, you are looking for the Lingshan medicine, right? Senior, I am the best at fanning. Choose me. Senior, I can do any pose. You wanted me, didn't you?" Kinjenyan hasn't spoken yet. The sound of the River of Autumn came from behind. "Go cultivate." Kinjenyan replied. I turned back to take a look before entering the alchemy room. Only saw Kyari, he holding a kitchen knife. The interviews for these female disciples have already begun. 1 hour later, cultivation, fourth layer of artifact refinement, 22,100. Kinjenyan absorbed another piece of spirit essence. Leaving the alchemy room, on the table outside, delicious meat soup has already been served. The River in Autumn spoke emotionlessly. "Eating rice." "All right." Kinjenyan replied affirmatively. "Hurry up and sit down to eat." A moment later, he finally couldn't help but ask, "Jai, the several fellow practitioners just now, none of it works. The Autumn River flows gently." "Oh." Kinjenyan let out a grunt. "Continue eating." But deep down I silently cried out in anguish. I didn't expect that. A second-tier Dan master. All are so alluring and attract attention. In Yulin town, too many low-level cultivators. The female cultivators are practicing. Not even close to hope. We can only hope. Marry a high-level male cultivator, or a higher-level alchemist. Fatih, this life is now secure. It's just these female cultivators. It's just too urgent. Flourishing in beauty. The desire to intrude. It's all written on the face. Even if the river no longer flows with me. How to be intimate. After all, she is my wife. How could I be happy? I only hope that those who come after me, can you be more reliable? I just want to find a spiritual mountain medicine master. However, life is not as good as one moment's 8 or 9. After lunch, a few more people have arrived. It's all that kind. The alluring one who seeks shortcuts has been encountered. The River of Autumn, blocked at the door, couldn't even get through the door. By nightfall, the River of Autumn still has a cold expression. Kinjenyan almost fell out of bed. None of them managed to get up. "It's all good and well." Finally his expression changed. "It looks better now." The two finally put in some hard work. After 5 times of the 100 plays, Jai, are you no longer angry? Kin Jang-yeon hadn't finished speaking yet. By the river of autumn, kicked off the bed. Go cultivate, he said coldly. Kyuje hugged the blanket, turned away, no longer paying attention to him. Kin Jang-yeon sighed in resignation. Rubbing his butt, he stood up, entered the alchemy room. Let's start tonight's dual cultivation. 15 points obtained. All have been added to cultivation. Practiced for another 2 hours. Used up 2 pieces of soul essence. The cultivation and spiritual roots have once again improved. Cultivation, 4th layer of Chi refinement, 41,100. Dragged my exhausted body onto the bed. The river of autumn didn't kick him down this time. It seems they have already fallen asleep. Kin Jang-yeon quietly leaned over, looking down at that round profile, shaking his head. So cute, yet so fierce. Lying down exhausted, soon fell into a deep sleep. A moment later, the river of autumn opens its eyes. He pulled out a communication talisman from under the blanket. Above is the message sent to him by Liu Su. Saint girl, they are forcing me to take customers. I really can't stay here any longer. Please come save me. The river of autumn sparkles, glancing sideways at Kin Jang-yeon. The corners of his mouth slightly curled up. It seems like a decision was made. Diet, a dream of red mansions. Liu Su is tightly bound all over. The rope was covered with various binding talismans. Even the mouth was stuffed with cloth strips. Lying pitifully on the bed, the heartless man cursed by the heavens. You've killed me. Liu Su bears the burden on his hands and feet, making a whimpering sound with its mouth, cursing wildly in my heart. After being messed with by that bastard during the day, Liu Su was taken by Zhang Beimu, called together more than 10 thugs, caught back a red mansion. Battle of Tianyu Mountain. Liu Su was also injured. Severely weakened cultivation. However, dealing with these 3rd-level refining minions, it's still enough. He just can't reveal the Kinglian sect's techniques. I can only pretend to be a gentlewoman, surrender unconditionally. I originally intended to cultivate the snake, continue to fool Zhang Beimu. I didn't expect to see him this time. Still unwilling to take customers. Calming down and making a resolute decision. Commanded someone to tie him up tightly. Many binding talismans were added. It was originally just for show, vain capture. Now it's good. It's really impossible to escape now. Zhang Beimu was hungry all day, and threatened that, if Liu Su still refuses to accept clients tomorrow, just to eat the passion pill for him. When the time comes, engulfed in flames, don't force him. Just rolled onto the guest's bed. Liu Su panicked. There are a few hidden under my skin. The communication talisman that can connect with Xia Kinglian finally managed to send the message to the Saintess, but waited for a long time. The Saintess didn't reply either. Liu Sayu felt increasingly anxious. In an instant, in my heart, this has been criticized throughout the entire dream of the Red Chamber. Once again, she directed her grievances at that heartless man, that bastard on my body. It's simply crazy. I'm so beautiful. You are as venomous as a snake. Don't let me see you again. But the window slightly moved. A red shadow has already appeared in the room. Seeing that tall figure, Liu Su wriggled repeatedly on the bed. Xia Kinglian walked over. The palm extends out. A wave of scorching heat surged forth. Tied to the rope, imprisoned and nurtured. Instantly turned to ashes. Liu Su broke the rope. Pull out the cloth stuffed in the mouth. suddenly jumped into Zaya Kinglian's arms. "Saintess, if you don't come soon, I'm really going to become a courtesan." Zaya Kinglian frowned and asked, "Didn't the nanny agree to you?" "And